So now that I got the whole GTR style wide body for this R33 here, I'm gonna go ahead and mock it up. I'm obviously gonna use the side of the car that wasn't smashed into a guardrail. So let's go ahead and start taking it apart. After we mess around with the R33 for a little while, I'm gonna head up to FD Orlando and go watch some drifting. Stick around, today's video is gonna be awesome. So right here we got the upper portion of the wing. As you can see, it says Navin. And then here's the quarter panel section of the spoiler. I'm gonna go ahead and take this off. I already got it unbolted, but if you flip it over and look inside, it's a Nissan part, right? With Nissan OEM part numbers. So it's like, I think that's what Navin was, is they're like an OEM Nissan aftermarket aero company. I am actually missing the other side of this, but I'm hoping that the person who unfortunately totaled this car, she has a box full of stuff. So I'm gonna go get that box full of stuff at some point in this rebuild, and I'm hoping that it has this other piece in it. All right, so here is the passenger side over fender. Here we've got this Miata shell sitting right here. Makes it a little tight, but should be able to get it fit up and taped. That fits really well. Honestly, I should drill out the holes for where this Navin wing sits, and it'll hold this whole back section on here. I definitely don't think I want to do rivets because I think rivets are ugly personally. But if you color match them to whatever you paint the car, then I guess it doesn't look too bad. That's something I'll have to think about. But honestly, like, I think the molded look looks a lot better. But over time, if you mold it on, it's going to break and crack. Like, it's almost inevitable. So I'll have to think about this one. All right, so now that I got the over fender and the door card and the spat on, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take the drill and I'm gonna come up under here and I'm gonna go ahead and drill out these holes where that spoiler piece goes. All right, so I'm gonna start lightly massaging this and seeing if I can I need to find something like a come along, honestly. I think the first place that I should go, sorry, I'm thinking as I'm going, I thought I was gonna start somewhere, and then as soon as I started talking, I realized that I should probably come down here.
I don't even know what the fuck I'm doing. So I work hard at it though. People are like, you know what the fuck you're doing? I'm like, yeah, but I'll be there every
to this frame rail, which you can see is in and up, and I should probably focus on that first. Now, fortunately, I have this like 2,500 pound forklift right here, so I should be able to use that as an anchor point for a come along to, you know, try to move this. And there's like a hook right on the bottom there for putting like a weight on a forklift, so I should be able to hook this right to that and maybe do something. Looks a lot better. Kind of twisted it down. As I was pulling it, it was kind of pulling this up. So now it's kind of rolling it back over while pulling it out. This is just preliminary stuff. I don't want to yank on the quarter panel before I get the frame rail where it's supposed to be, because if I do all this work to the quarter panel, then I pull the frame rail, it's just gonna mess it all up, you know? Oh, DB'd it. Whoops. That worked pretty good. You know, I thought that coming up to FD late was gonna make it easier to get in. Yeah, that's not the case at all. It's 4 o'clock. I figured that everybody would already be here by now. Well, that's not the case, so we're waiting in line. It's so nice to meet you!
So nice to meet you!
It's really nice. The floors are smooth, and they What do you think, Max?
Pretty cool.
What can you tell me about it? You know more than I do.
Well, it's got like 1,400 horsepower, but it's got like the same super cheap fuel pressure regulator on it that Shaw has on his like $1,200 F-150.
Yeah, my 85 wheel horsepower F-150 uses that bad boy.
When in doubt, Amazon it out.
It also has like one singular, what looks like a 44 millimeter wastegate maybe with like a 7 liter V12.
Pretty nuts.
But then again, this thing makes like 1,400 horsepower. I'm sure a little boost creep doesn't do it.
This thing is crazy. Is he driving this today?
Yeah.
That's gonna be fun. Probably sounds nuts.
I can check the bracket, see if he's in the top 16. I'm pretty sure he is. And then they take a massive break between the top 30 tennis driving this.
They got us all the way out here in the boonies. I'm gonna move my car. Oh my goodness. Look at how far back Brandy is. I'm gonna go pick her up. Go pick her up. She's that little speck out there. Need a ride? Hop on in. All right, we got the car moved over here successfully. Now we are in the main parking area. This will be a lot easier to get up here, and it won't take 20 minutes to get from the car to up here. So let's go watch. I think we just missed Adam's battle. Oops, but we'll go watch the rest. don't know what I'm looking at right now, but it's fucking sick. Look at it, it's like a tool cart, but it's towable. But it's like a movable tool cart. That is crazy. That is the coolest thing ever. FD Orlando was really fun. It was really hot, and there was like a bunch of people there. I've never been there and had that many people there. It was a bit much, so I had a lot of fun. I didn't really get a lot of clips, but as always, I like to go to these events and just enjoy myself and hang out and talk to my friends and see everybody that I know. So hopefully that was a little bit of enjoyment for you guys. Let's get back to the regular stuff. This is why you should never run mismatched tire sizes on an all-wheel drive car. Alright, well, no more slip light, and it's driving super smooth. Now, this might come as not a surprise to most of you, but I've never owned an all-wheel drive car, so I wouldn't know something like this. But apparently, on an all-wheel drive car, because of the rear differential and the front differential and how they all connect together, all of your tire sizes, diameters, they need to be the same. Whether that's the wheel itself being the same diameter all around or the tires being the same diameter all around. This is all something that needs to be considered when you're driving an all-wheel drive car. Now, in the world of rear-wheel drives, this does not pose itself as an issue at all. Generally, in a lot of circumstances, like you want to switch to a staggered setup, or you want to be able to run a different tire size in the back versus the front if you're trying to fit something, or you're doing like a drift setup or even a track setup. So what had happened was I put these 18 by 10 Cerberus wheels on the back with two 1535 wheels, and I put 18 by 8s on the front with two 3540s. And what that did was immediately cause all of my components to start binding up. So when I put the car in drive, it felt like it wasn't going anywhere. And then when I put gas on it, there was a lot of friction, I guess I could explain it as. And then the slip light would turn on, and then eventually it would drive the way it was supposed to. And after doing a little bit of research, I come to find out that, well, the reason that's happening is because I have the car set up improperly. So don't do what I did. Right? If you want your car to stay healthy and you want your car to stay alive and you don't want it to shred axles like mine just did, you know, make sure you run a squared setup. Now, it doesn't matter the width of the wheel. See, I got 18 by 8s in the front and I got 18 by 10s in the back, but I got a 215/35 all around. So when I drive, all of my wheels are spinning at the same exact RPMs, and that is what the main thing is here that you're trying to achieve. So hopefully you learned something today, because I sure did. Anyways, look, a Daihatsu. JDM, bro. But honestly, I'm very happy with how this turned out. I think I need to look into getting lower control arms, because on the JZX 105, when you jack up the car, the lower control arm, all the weight goes on it, and then it splits the bushing. I just replaced them both like 4 months ago, and they're already broken again because I've jacked the car up like 5 times. Don't really know what the solution is to that, other than seeing if a company makes lower control arms. So I'm gonna look into that.